to Yemen or wherever you're from.
Right.
So I can't tell you how many people I dealt with, not Hispanic, not Middle Easterners. I mean, I worked organized crime. I mean, mob guys that we had that had been ordered deported 6 or 7 years ago that were still legally, I mean, were still operating in Los Angeles, selling drugs, committing crime, and they had been legally ordered deported.
Bob, we got a question for you over the phone lines. I hate to interrupt you, but I like to get to the calls right away. Let's go to Nelson in Waltham. Nelson, what's on your mind? You got a question for Bob Hamer?
How you doing? How you guys doing?
We're doing great. How about yourself, pal?
Doing all right. Yesterday I was actually in Watertown. My girlfriend Doreen lived not too far from where the arrests were made, and her son Brian was there as well.
Right.
And so, you know, it was kind of close to home. She called me and told me, hey, you know, something crazy is going down here. The FBI is around. So, you know, it's of all the cities in you know, the United States, it's got to be Watertown. You know, it's unbelievable.
The home of Robert Reich.
There you go.
Yeah, it was quite the scene. One neighbor said, you know, I looked out the window and, you know, a ton of guys with machine guns are all pointing at this one house. I mean, you don't see that every day.
Exactly. It was a shocker. But I had a quick question. Do you think, you know, these guys, if they had been stopped by the police, let's say in like a normal routine check, do you think it's a good idea that the police should do this type of background search on these people when they pull them over? You know, just, you know, kind of like what they're doing in.
So you're saying if a police officer pulls over someone they suspect to be suspicious, you know, based on you know, whether they're Middle Eastern or not, and whatever, you think that they should be able to do all sorts of background checks right there on the scene?
Right.
What do you think about that, Bob?
Well, again, I know it sounds like we're starting to get into racial profiling, but I think the police, there is a reasonable suspicion, and if there's a reasonable suspicion to pull you over, and you think there's a reason to inquire about this person's status, then I certainly don't have a problem with it. I mean, I have to, if I get pulled over in California right now, I have to show my driver's license, my registration, my proof of insurance. And so, you know, I don't have a problem with showing them another piece of identification if it would appear that maybe I'm not here legally. But, you know, I don't have an issue with it. I'm speaking as Bob Hamer, a retired FBI agent, not as a spokesperson for the FBI.
Yeah, of course, right. We're talking. You're Bob Hamer, the author of Enemies Among Us, which can be found anywhere. Yeah, that's what you are. Enemies Among Us. It's a great read. You can find that anywhere, right, Bob?
Yeah, it's at all the major bookstores. It's online at Amazon and the online brokers.
So, Nelson, I hope he answered your question. He says, yeah, I mean, there is a reasonable suspicion there, so, you know, do whatever you got to do.
All right, thanks a lot, fellas.
You're welcome. Thanks for the call, Nelson. Have a great day. Now, Bob, what about this neighborhood raid? It's very rare. Is this how the FBI does it? 20 guys, machine guns in the small Watertown community, very swift, very fast. They got them out of there. It was pretty impressive.
Well, I say this with all sincerity, and people are shocked when I say it. The FBI doesn't believe in a fair fight.